Mark your calendar right now, because July 29th, 2026 is the day your pension check gets bigger. And if you have not filed your 2025 taxes yet, that same day could also be the day your guaranteed income supplement gets smaller or even stops completely. Both things happen on the exact same deposit date, and most people watching this video today do not even know it. Before we go any further, if you find this kind of information useful, please take a moment right now to subscribe to this channel so you never miss one of these weekly updates. Welcome back to CPP OAS Weekly Update. If this is your first time here, this channel exists for one simple reason: to help Canadian seniors like you understand exactly what is happening with your CPP, your OAAs, and your GIAs in plain everyday language, without the confusing government paperwork. Today, we are going deep into the July 2026 payment update, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to expect in your bank account this month and what you need to do before the end of July to protect your money. Let's start with the good news. Service Canada has confirmed the payment date for July. Your OAS, your CPP, and your GIS, if you receive it, will all land in your account on Wednesday, July 29th, 2026. If you have direct deposit set up, which most seniors do these days, the money usually shows up right on that date. If you still receive a paper check in the mail, it can take a few extra days, so please be patient, and Service Canada asks that you wait at least 5 to 10 business days before you call them to report a missing payment. Now, here is the part that makes July special. Every 3 months, the government looks at the Consumer Price Index, which is just a fancy way of measuring how much prices have gone up for everyday things like groceries, gas, and rent. Based on that measurement, they adjust your old age security payment. This quarter, prices went up, and so your OAS is going up by 1.2%. Now, 1.2% might not sound like a lot, and I understand that. But let me put real numbers in front of you so you can see exactly what this means for your July deposit. If you are between the ages of 65 and 74, your maximum OAS payment was $743.05 per month from April through June. Starting with your July 29th payment, that maximum rises to approximately $751.97. That is about $8.92 more each month. If you are 75 years of age or older, you already receive a higher rate because back in July of 2022, the government permanently boosted OAS by 10% for seniors in that older age group. Your maximum payment was $817.36 from April through June. With this new increase, it rises to roughly $827.17. That works out to about $9.81 more per month. Now, I want to be honest with you because I always am on this channel. Not everyone receives the maximum amount. If you lived in Canada for fewer than 40 years after turning 18, you receive what is called a partial pension, and your 1.2% increase will be based on your smaller amount, not the maximum figure I just gave you. But the good news is, the increase applies to everyone who receives OAS, no matter how much you get. Even a partial pension goes up by that same 1.2% this quarter. Now let's talk about something that catches a lot of seniors off guard every single year, and July is the month it happens. This is the annual reset of the Guaranteed Income Supplement, along with the allowance and the allowance for the survivor, for those of you who receive those benefits. Here is how this works, and please listen closely because this is genuinely important. Your GIS amount is not just adjusted for inflation like your basic OAS pension. Once a year, in July, Service Canada takes a fresh look at your income tax return from the previous year and completely recalculates your GIS based on that. So this July, they are looking at your 2025 income, not your 2024 income. If your income went down in 2025, perhaps because you retired further, stopped a part-time job, or reduced how much you were withdrawing from your RRIF, your GIS could actually go up by more than the standard 1.2%. That would be wonderful news for your budget. But if your income went up in 2025, for example, because you sold an investment, received a larger RRIF withdrawal, or had some other one-time income, your GIS could shrink, even though your basic OAS pension is still increasing. This is why some seniors are confused every July when they see their OAS go up, but their overall deposit go down. It is not a mistake by Service Canada. It is simply the GIS portion adjusting to reflect your actual income from last year. To give you a real-world example, a single senior with very low other income who receives both OAS and GIS could see a combined deposit of roughly $1,875 a month starting July 29th, up from about $1,853 in June. That is a meaningful increase for someone living on a fixed income. Now here is the part I really need you to pay attention to, especially if you have not yet filed your 2025 income tax return. Filing your taxes by April 30th, 2026 was essential this year, not just to avoid interest charges, but specifically to keep your GIS payments flowing. If you receive GIS, the allowance, or the allowance for the survivor, and you have not filed your 2025 return, Service Canada may pause those income-tested payments starting this month until they receive your completed return. Your basic OAS pension, if that is all you receive, will continue without interruption. But GIS, allowance, and allowance for the survivor recipients absolutely need their taxes filed. So if you are watching this and you have not filed yet, please call your accountant or visit a free tax clinic this week. Do not let a missed tax return cost you the support you depend on. Now let's move over to the Canada Pension Plan, because CPP is also being deposited on that same July 29th date right alongside your OAS. For 2026, the maximum CPP retirement pension for someone starting at age 65 is approximately $1,507.65 per month. But I want to be very clear with you here, because this number gets misunderstood constantly. That is the maximum. It is not what most people actually receive. To get that full maximum amount, you would need to have contributed at the highest possible level for close to 39 years of your working life. Very few Canadians hit that mark. The average CPP retirement pension for someone newly starting at age 65 is closer to $925 a month. So please do not compare your own deposit to that maximum headline number and worry that something is wrong. Your CPP amount is entirely personal, based on your own contribution history across your working years. If you started your CPP earlier than 65, remember your payment was permanently reduced by 0.6% for every month before your 65th birthday. Someone who started at exactly age 60 would see their payment reduced by 36% compared to what they would have received at 65. On the other hand, if you delayed your CPP past 65, your payment grows by 0.7% for every month you waited, up to a maximum increase of 42% if you waited all the way until age 70. There is no additional benefit to waiting past 70, so if you are still delaying at that age, it is time to apply. Now, let's talk about something else that resets every July. And this one matters if you have higher retirement income, particularly from RRIF withdrawals, investments, or a workplace pension. This is the OAS recovery tax, which most people simply call the OAS clawback. Starting with this July payment, the threshold used to calculate your clawback rolls forward to reflect your 2025 income rather than your 2024 income. For the period running from July 2026 through June 2027, that threshold is approximately $93,454 in net income. If your income for 2025 was above that amount, Service Canada will begin withholding 15 cents of your OAS for every dollar you earned above the threshold. This clawback is recalculated fresh every July, so if your income was higher in 2025 than it was the year before, you may notice a bigger reduction on your OAS starting with this very payment. If your income dropped, that reduction may ease up. This is exactly why so many seniors work with a financial advisor to plan the order in which they draw down their RRIF, their TFSA, and other savings, because the order you choose can make a real difference in how much OAS you actually get to keep. One more small thing worth knowing: there is no 13th or bonus payment hiding anywhere in the calendar. After your July 29th deposit, the remaining 2026 payment dates are August 27th, September 25th, October 28th, November 26th, and then December 22nd, which comes a little earlier than usual to make sure everyone has their money before the holidays. That December timing does create the longest gap of the year, about 5 weeks before the next payment in late January, so it is worth planning your budget around that stretch in advance. So, to sum up everything for you today, your OAS goes up 1.2% starting July 29th. Your GIS, if you receive it, gets fully recalculated based on your 2025 tax return, so it could go up or down depending on your income last year. Filing your taxes on time protects your GIS from being paused, and the OAS clawback threshold has also moved forward to reflect 2025 income, sitting at roughly $93,454 for this coming year. I know all of this can feel like a lot to keep track of, and that is exactly why this channel exists, to walk through it with you every single week in plain, honest language. If this video helps clear things up for you, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps more seniors find these updates when they need them. And if you have not already, please subscribe to CPP OAS Weekly Update. We recently crossed 1,000 subscribers together, and every single one of you helps this channel keep growing so we can keep bringing you accurate, timely pension news. Drop a comment below and let me know how your July payment looked compared to last month. I read every single one. And make sure you come back next week because we will be breaking down the GIS income thresholds in detail so you know exactly where you stand. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.